All right, so I was just sitting on the computer watching a Figgy Ed video. If you guys haven't seen him, you should go check him out. But the guy's got me absolutely fired up right now about indoor growing, because here we are getting towards the end of the season and it's getting too cool and a lot of these figs aren't going to ripen, and I want the season to extend. So I want to show you something real quick with my air layers that I've got going on. When I was watching his video, he had some air layers on some fig trees that he's got growing indoors, and he's got aluminum foil wrapped all around them. And it prompted me to want to get this out to you guys and ask you this question about how you do air layers, because over this summer, I changed how I'm doing them. And I saw Figgy Ed doing his with aluminum foil wrapped around him, which is what I've always done, but I'm doing it differently now, and I'm going to turn this around here and show you these and see what you think. I'm going to say right off the bat, unless this thing gets better over the next year, I'm ditching it. This is Nerino, Moro de Caniva, and I don't like it. I don't like the taste of the fig. It's an awesome fig in my area. It's already ripened a whole bunch of figs up on this little section, but they don't taste that good at all. And I did see a video, I can't remember who put it out, saying that it takes a few years and it gets better and better each year. But if I had to work at it that hard, I just don't know that I care that much about that particular figs. My St. Martin, I mentioned in the last video, or the last little short, that this thing had all these figs and they weren't actually ripening, and they've been sitting there this size for a long time. Well, right after I said that, it must have got the message, because this one started lightening in color and swelling, and so did these two as well. And I'm excited to try that fig. It's almost ready. Just a beautiful fig. I love that one, Campaneri. If you can get it, get it. Here's what we're talking about today. This air layering. So you'll notice I've got an air layer over here on my Ben's Golden River side, and then this is my Black Madeira KK, the original one I've got. And I want to get a bunch of air layers on this one. So I did them kind of late in the season, so you can see not a whole lot of roots yet, but this one has, I was trying something different. It's got roots underneath it. It's kind of a darkened container, so you can't really see the roots, I don't think, but they're in there. When I pull this up and look, I can see some roots. Oh, actually, there's one right there. You can see that maybe. But that guy's been on there a little longer. This one and this one a shorter amount of time, and I haven't seen anything out of that yet. But this one, you can see I've got some big roots here just starting. Like I said, I did these late in the season. It was like August already, or it might have been mid-August, so like a month ago, but it's getting cooler, and so it's just starting to take off. You can see roots under here too as well. I'm gonna have to cut this off at some point. It's already lost its leaves. They're all laying down there. But what I did different was I started out with foil wrapped around all of these. And except for that little guy right there. And I didn't have foil on these. This is from a hydrangea, a panicle hydrangea. But I noticed coming out here, even on cooler days, that these little guys felt very warm. Now, this is 50% shade cloth, or it's plastic, but it's called 50% shade cloth. And so it blocks half the sun, but even on cloudy days, it's still warmer. It's not hot, but it's warmer than when I had the foil on these, because the foil blocks the sun, and that's why we do it. But these were taken later, these little air layers, and I needed more warmth because they just weren't rooting. So I took the foil off of them too, let the sun beat through, and started noticing that these guys were warmer, obviously, because I've got clear containers, the sun's shining in there. It's warming up that peat moss, it's warming up the cutting, and almost within like a week, boom, roots started shooting out. And so, well, somebody might say in the summer it's gonna get too hot without the foil on it. But I've done so many experiments on this channel over the years with bottom heat and hardwood cuttings, where I've taken hardwood cuttings up into the 105, maybe even higher temperature range, and they still root without any problem. So I'm gonna start air layering these things without wrapping them in foil. Now, Ed was wrapping his in foil inside his house, from what I saw. And maybe that's a different situation because you don't have the sun beating down anyway. It may not matter, but it's just something to consider. I started getting roots on this black Madeira really quick after taking the foil off, and I could feel this whole ball was a lot warmer. This rooted much sooner. These guys, I'm expecting to start coming along even sooner now because I've taken the foil off of them. So what do you guys think? Do you root your air layers with the foil or without the foil? I've always put foil on my air layers because it blocks the sun and you don't get that medium heating up as much. But does it block it too much? Because when I would feel them, and now what I should have done, I missed that opportunity. What I should have done is used my infrared thermometer and checked the temperature underneath the foil and then afterwards, and I could actually still do that, just wrap one in foil and see what the temp is. But when I would touch it with my hands, the ones that were wrapped in foil, they were always very cool. They were not warm at all. The ones that didn't have the foil were much warmer, but not too warm. And you can see the roots just took off really quickly on those air layers. So anyway, I just thought I'd ask. I was inspired because, like I said, I was watching Figgy Ed. He was going nuts talking about rooting his air layers, and man, that guy's so cool. He's got such a cool setup. I got to do this indoor stuff. Anyway, he inspired me to run out and make this video and ask you guys what you're doing with your air layers. Foil or no foil? Here we are back in saddle again, but that's all I've got for you guys today. So let me know. I'm really curious what you guys do. Foil or no foil? How do you do your air layers? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this one, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want to follow along. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.